Remember the days when you had to actually sit in front of the TV at a certain time, or you'd miss your favorite show forever? The time when there was no DVR, no Netflix, no I'll catch it later. Just you, the couch, and the glow of the television in the living room. So how about we take a trip down memory lane and revisit the shows you almost forgot? Stick around because today we're heading straight back to the 90s. Number 10, Step by Step, 1991 to 1998. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a show that ran for a whopping 7 seasons. Step by Step. Premiering in 1991 on ABC's TGIF lineup, it was basically the 90s answer to The Brady Bunch. The story was about Frank Lambert, a single dad with 3 kids, who marries Carol Foster, a single mom with 3 kids, and suddenly, as one would expect, instant blended family chaos. And there was never a dull moment in the Lambert house. It wasn't revolutionary, but it was a cozy TV show. You tuned in for silly family antics, cheesy life lessons, and theme music that instantly gave 90s comfort. Yet Step by Step just didn't stay in the spotlight. Still, if you grew up in the 90s, you probably remember the opening credits shot at a theme park ride. And maybe the immortal line, "Dude, chill out," that Cody once delivered. But while Step by Step played it safe with family comedy, our next show dialed things up with creepy campfire stories. Number 9. Are you afraid of the dark? At number 9, we're diving into Nickelodeon's spooky vault. If you were a 90s kid, Saturday nights weren't complete without Are You Afraid of the Dark? The setup was simple yet brilliant. A group of teens, the Midnight Society, gathered around a campfire to tell scary stories. Each week, viewers got a brand new tale of ghosts, curses, haunted houses, or just something that your brain will recall at 2 a.m. The show became iconic for giving kids genuine scares without going full horror movie. It was kind of like Goosebumps, but moodier and a little darker. And every episode began the same way. A bag of midnight dust thrown on the fire, followed by the line, submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. I call this story Cue Goosebumps. And speaking of shows that made an emotional impact, our next pick brought teenage drama to primetime. Number 8, My So-Called Life, 1994 to 1995. Coming in at number 8 is the show that captured the messy, complicated reality of being a teenager in the 90s, My So-Called Life. Premiering on ABC in 1994, it starred a young Claire Danes as Angela Chase, a 15-year-old navigating high school drama, family struggles, and her hopeless crush on Jordan Catalano, played by none other than Jared Leto. Unlike the glossy teen shows that came later, My So-Called Life felt painfully real. Topics like identity, peer pressure, sexuality, and addiction were front and center. Quite heavy stuff for primetime TV. Critics loved it, and Danes even won a Golden Globe for her performance. But ratings? Not so much. It only lasted 1 season, just 19 episodes, before getting canceled. And yet, those 19 episodes made a huge impact, inspiring many later teen dramas. It's forgotten because it ended so abruptly. If My So-Called Life showed us high school as it really was, this next show showed us high school the way we wished it could be. Wild and way too fun to be true. Number 7, Parker Lewis Can't Lose. If the 90s had a king of cool, it might have been Parker Lewis. Premiering on FOX in 1990, this teen sitcom was basically Ferris Bueller's Day Off, reimagined for TV, with Parker pulling off wild moves, breaking the fourth wall, and living by the motto, synchronize swatches. His best friends Mikey and Jerry always backed him up, while the school's strict principal, Grace Musso, tried to shut him down at every turn. The show was pure 90s energy, fast cuts, cartoon-style gags, and comedy that felt way ahead of its time. One episode could flip from heartfelt teen drama to absurdity in seconds. It lasted 3 seasons, but FOX couldn't quite figure out how to market it. Still, fans remember it as one of the first sitcoms to fully embrace quirky, self-aware humor. And speaking of weird, the 90s also gave us a town where strange and creepy things were just part of everyday life. Number 6, Erie, Indiana. Imagine the X-Files, but for kids. That's Erie, Indiana, a short-lived NBC series that aired from 1991 to 1992. It followed Marshall Teller, a teen who moves to the small town of Erie, only to discover that everything is weirdly supernatural. We're talking neighbors who sleep in giant Tupperware containers to stay fresh, dogs plotting against humans, and Elvis Presley secretly living next door. With its spooky vibe, witty writing, and mix of horror and humor, the show was basically a kid-friendly Twilight Zone. It didn't last long, only 19 episodes, but it left a cult following. In fact, it was so loved that Fox Kids later revived it in reruns, giving a whole new generation nightmares about foreverwhere. Our next show took a different kind of bold approach, blending small-town life with drama, mystery, and moral questions. Number 5. Picket Fences. Premiering in 1992 on CBS, Picket Fences was unlike anything else on TV at the time. Set in the fictional town of Rome, Wisconsin, it followed Sheriff Jimmy Brock and his family as they navigated everyday life and the unusual. From cows giving birth to human babies to polygamy scandals and alien sightings, the town's weirdness made each episode thrilling. Created by David E. Kelley, the show combined drama, comedy, and courtroom suspense, often tackling social issues that other primetime shows avoided. The cast included Tom Skerritt as Jimmy Brock, and the cast brought both warmth and strangeness to the screen. Even the theme song, with its slightly eerie piano notes, set the tone for a town that was anything but ordinary. Despite winning 14 Emmy Awards, it never became a massive ratings hit, and because it wasn't the kind of show you could watch again, it slowly slipped out of the spotlight. Number 4. Early Edition. Premiering in 1996, Early Edition followed Gary Hobson, an ordinary man living in Chicago who mysteriously receives tomorrow's newspaper today, giving him a chance to prevent disasters before they happen. From saving lives in building fires to stopping crimes before they occur, every episode puts Gary in the middle of high-stakes situations, all while juggling his normal life. The show combined drama, suspense, and lighthearted humor, making it both thrilling and heartwarming. Gary's companions, including mysterious cat-loving neighbor Marissa and street-smart friend Chuck, added comic relief, keeping the story grounded. Despite running for only 4 seasons, fans remember it fondly for its unique plot, feel-good heroics, and that sense of 90s optimism. Number 3. Unhappily Ever After. Here's one that people either vaguely remember or desperately wish they could forget. It ran from 1995 to 1999, and followed the dysfunctional Malloy family, Jack, the bitter dad, Jennifer, the neglected mom, and their kids, including a young Nikki Cox as Tiffany, the star of the show. But the real scene stealer? Mr. Floppy, a sarcastic talking stuffed rabbit voiced by Bobcat Goldthwait. He was basically the dad's imaginary friend, delivering sarcasm while puffing on a cigar. The show was politically incorrect and absolutely not fancy stuff, but it pulled in viewers who wanted darker comedy than the traditional family sitcoms of the time. Although it lived in the shadow of more famous sitcoms and was often dismissed as a cheap knockoff, it still managed to run for 5 full seasons because of its loyal fan base. If a talking rabbit wasn't enough to make a family sitcom weird, the next show took things even further, way back to prehistoric times. Number 2. Dinosaurs. Before Shrek made sarcastic animated characters cool, there was an entire primetime sitcom built around giant rubber dinosaurs wearing work clothes. Yep, we're talking about Dinosaurs, a show that was way stranger and way smarter than it first appeared. It followed the Sinclair family, a working-class dino clan trying to live a normal suburban life. Earl Sinclair, the dad, was basically a Jurassic version of Homer Simpson. Grumpy, clueless, but big-hearted. His wife Fran kept the family together, and their kids reflected every sitcom cliché: the rebellious teen, the sweet daughter, and of course Baby Sinclair, who completely stole the spotlight. If you watched even one episode, you definitely remember his catchphrase, "Not the mama."
Not the mama.
Usually screamed while smacking Earl over the head with a frying pan or club. At first glance, the show looked goofy, puppet dinosaurs cracking dad jokes. But underneath the goofiness, Dinosaurs tackled surprisingly deep issues: corporate greed, environmental destruction, gender roles, even consumerism. And the finale? Brace yourself. It literally ends with the extinction of the dinosaurs caused by climate change. Imagine being a kid expecting laughs, only to watch your favorite characters face the apocalypse. It never quite fits neatly into any box. Too strange for straight sitcom fans, too heavy for a kid's show, and so it was slowly forgotten. But if you ever saw Baby Sinclair's over-the-top humor, you're going to remember it. forever. Our final pick dives straight into the chaos inside one guy's brain. Number 1. Herman's Head. If dinosaurs took family sitcoms into the prehistoric, then Herman's Head went straight into the mind, literally. Premiering in 1991 on Fox, this workplace comedy followed Herman Brooks, an average guy whose every decision was argued out by 4 quirky personalities living inside his brain: intellect, sensitivity, anxiety, and lust. Yes, one entire character was literally his lust, and yes, it was as hilarious and absurd as it sounds. The show mixed witty dialogue and clever inner monologues, making viewers feel like they were peeking into the ultimate brain meeting gone rogue. Herman's choices, whether asking someone out, handling office drama, or just deciding what to eat, played out like a full-on debate among these 4 brain tenets. It introduced the kind of meta-comedy we see today, blending internal monologue, imagination, and workplace humor in a way that felt ahead of its time. It may be forgotten by many, but for those who caught it, Herman's Head is pure 90s genius, smart, weird, and always fun to watch again. So there you have it, 10 TV shows from the 90s that time may have buried, but our nostalgia will never forget. So, do you have another forgotten gem from the 90s that deserves to be on this list? Drop it in the comments. Show some love with a like, share this with your 90s crew, and subscribe for more retro throwbacks.